fear, psychology, and emotions. Fear. The fear is deep rooted in our existence. It is so true to everyone. सबका सबको डर लगता है, सबका गला सूखता है. In the book called Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill described the fear. There is human having six reason of fear being fear. There is fear of poverty. Everyone has this fear. There's fear of poverty, losing the job, losing the livelihood, and this thing so deep rooted that we always keep busy in insecurity of losing job and losing the livelihood. Sometimes we do not love the work, but we have to and go and visit the same office and do the work because because we because we don't want to lose the job because it will cause our life miserable and what will come. So fear of being poor or fear of losing job or fear of poverty so strong. The first is come fast and is the basic thing. And another then comes the fear of criticism, and we are directed by others. We hate criticism. We burst out in anger and fear and burst out in 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 uh, uh, if we vulnerable, we feel criticism. What we do, we shout over the person, and we demean others to uh, become good at the eye of someone else. So fear of criticism is also very strong fear, and for that we are always conscious about the criticism. We avoid criticism, and we hang around those people who praise you, though they sometimes they make it fake, but we love that thing. There is fear of criticism. Another things comes. Then third thing is the fear of ill health. Says we are so uh, you know scarce about uh, feeling sick or ill. So sometimes we try at this this thing, that thing, having uh, good habit, rising early. Someday we try, but we fall prey to our old habits and go back to the same thing we tried. Yoga, meditation, exercise, seeing the others, and get some motivation, and getting some seeing somebody dying and get get some motivation, seeing others ill health and hospital admission, having some health issues like diabetes, hypertension, and all, and then we go do some exercise, morning walk, have certain changes, make some certain changes in habits. But we again, after few days, our old habits is so strong. Habits is so strong over this thing, this new adapted thing, that we fall prey into the old habit and go to the same area, the same thing. We bad habits like eating junk food and and say living a sedentary means without much work and effort. We sit idly, gossip, and kill time in social media, because social media is some addiction that uh, social media, it takes your time. If you feel that it is I will surf for internet for a few seconds, 20 seconds, it will take another 20 minutes of your valuable time. And another thing then comes after ill health. After fear of ill health, then comes fear of losing the loved ones. It is strong. So we see there is couples are fighting for each other. Sometimes if uh, some one of the spouse hang around with someone and talk to someone, we feel so insecure, and we feel obsessed, and we uh, call each shout over each other, because this is feeling of insecurity of losing of love, and it is also so ingrained in our existence and so deep. There is fear of love, losing love. And another thing is kind of fear of old age. So, and this thing, when we rear our um, bring forth or a child, or we we make them, we educate them, and we give them best education, because if they are secure in their life, they are well established, they will take care of you. Because at the old age, this uh, we are insecure about our old age, so what will happen in old age? So we take care of our child so that we secure of our old age. But also, after seeing all these things, like all the old age home and all, and we are because old age home are uh, replicating and uh, uh, increasing day by day, and seeing the circumstances, there is especially a boy or a male child after getting married, mostly don't see their parents, and due to different reasons. So I'll not go deep into that. But thing is that we feel insecure, and we are opting for retirement plan, pension plan, everything in the insurance. So fear of uh, old age is so strong. We are also driven by this fear. And another thing is fear of death. And all these things, there is all the five causes of fear ultimately lead to one thing, there is fear of death. This is very, very true that we'll die one day, but fear of death is, you know, so deep rooted um, in our brain, in our subconscious, that that thing feel us scared. Like when we suddenly suddenly some sound out by some lightning or something, somebody seeing some snake or something like that, will feel scared, right? So it is a very natural, innate innate kind of response. It is so natural to us, and we react to this thing, fear of death. But in Upanishad, on things said, there is, if you don't understand death, we will be unable to live life fully. Because death, what is death? Death, in our superficial term, death is like uh, you know uh, end of yourself. But in our philosophy, in Bhagavad Gita and other literature, Hinduism, it says that death is like leaving the body, like leaving a garment for a soul, or atman, or soul, or spirit. And like this atma, like we old cloth, we change the old cloth and wear a new one, as like for atma, it takes another body, like a new cloth for atma. So if we also uh, fragment our this thing, our existence, our body, we are made up of the five elements. There is Kit of Tej Murud Boma, means earth element, water element, air element, fire element, and the space element. And if it is, we consist of this thing, our body is made of five elements, and the universe also consists of five elements. So after death, it will dissolve into these five elements of outside, and it will intermingle, and it will uh, merged with the same elements. So there is not actually, there is no some separation from the universe. Only thing is that our memory, our I consciousness, or Atman, there is our ego thing, actually making a discrimination between living and death. There is no word is in death in the philosophy. Only thing is that the new journey to the known to the unknown. Sometimes a birth means there is new life. So new life. It is said that if we don't die, how will we rebirth or take birth? So it is also said in who has born, actually he will die, and who has died, he will reborn again. So these are according to Bhagavad Gita, it is, and all the Upanishads and the Vedas and the philosophies is the same. So for reborn you have to die, so nothing to fear with death, because though death for this body may be there, but death for energy and spirit is no concept of for that, because no space for that, because it is said also in our modern science that the mass and the summation of the mass and energy is constant. So the energy and mass in the day of Big Bang was equal to today the amount of mass and energy. So we don't have to fear. And also in Patanjali also says that the fear is so ingrained, deep rooted in our system, that uh, in our system means in our subconscious, because even after so many times practicing of samadhi, means equanimity with the supreme consciousness, is a supreme intellect with our limited intellect, like Jimatma Paramatma, practicing yoga and the samadhi, there is some trait or some impressions of the past birth remains in our brain, our subconscious mind. That is called samskara shesha. So some imprint of the previous birth still remains in our existence, and that is also Patanjali says. And the that is because he say, according to him, there is this fear of death comes from the previous birth, because that the pain of the death, the experience and the memory of the previous birth, the pain and sufferings of the past previous birth remains in our subconscious mind. So fear of death is there. And so if you overcome the fear, you have to fear, because for to overcome the fear you need to have a faith or hope, and only faith, and that is the religion basically thing devised to overcome this fear. And fear, we can overcome every fear if we go deep into the root cause of the fear. Like the sixth level of fear, there is fear of being poor, or fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of doing loved ones, fear of old age, and fear of death. So if we properly know and understand what is the this thing actually, is it real, or it is a just a thought, or it is a memory mind game. So if we understand that, we can easily overcome that, and we live a fearless life and a fulfilled life. Thank you for watching.